We now return you to the Children of Primus.
Welcome, and we're back for Teletran 2, and Mario already in the comments says, guys, there's another convention in July besides the TFCON Daroga that's officially being SDCC. I guess Mario, let us know a bit more details about that one because I'm not familiar with it, but I mean maybe someone else within our collectors is familiar with it. And the cube, I am here to say I created everything, is in the
Warworks. Oh,
comments.
Nemesis is here.
Oh man, we're gonna start. We're gonna start like
Gonna
this
get the
fighting.
shotgun.
Okay, all right. We're gonna come out the box swinging.
I'm
Earth
out the
Prime.
box swinging. So actually, as the cube is entered, I guess this is going to be like a three-way match because we got a Toy Warp representing the Gators, and we've got Sunblock Arts who's representing the Cats, and then now we have the cube who's entered into
Can't
the.
complain. I did create this association with my own stupidity.
Wait, set them. Put them up. This way.
Someone would be like, "What did I tune into?"
Can alligators stand on their hind legs effectively as cats or not?
It's the Children of Primus.
That might be where they have an advantage.
All right, so this pre-order that is going in right now is 2 Vortexes, 2 DK70 upgrade kits, 1 dramatic capture series of Thundercracker and Reflector, 2 Fireflights, 2 Skydives.
Leave something for other people.
I'm only taking 2. It's just my 2. My 2.
Just
my
your
2.
Yeah, it was a good boy like Mr. Magnus too. I could have gotten more duplicates or tried to do customs with these Gundams and Symbol because these are a grunt Gundam. And when these guys first appear in the original Gundam, there's a group of 3 of them, and then in the current Gundam Quacks, there's a pair of 2 of them that have like an additional leg booster that comes down their back that I want to make customs of, but I need the duplicates of them to do it. So I would need at least 2 more to do that. And then I've got the extra heads that come with the weapons pack that he has all on right now.
What? Oh man, no, never mind. I'm adding another one.
What you doing, buddy?
I'm adding another one. Okay, so they have a 2-pack of the G2 Dinobots.
All right, Magnus.
I gotta have those 2. I gotta have those 2. It's Snarl and Slag in their G2 colors. I'll send you the link.
All right, and while you're doing that, a Unicron says, "I am here to eat Florida."
Speaking of the G2 Dinobots, you remember how I made the mistake of saying that I had that G2 Grimlock hidden at my local Walmart? Someone finally found it. He actually left a note and a pool noodle.
You know what? They were probably watching the channel, which actually reminds me of something funny that I'm gonna mention after. But let me share Mr. Magnus's G2 Dinobots. It's funny when you see them, those colors like that. Just really brings back the 80s.
I think as a kid, I don't even think I ever saw them in stores. I only ever saw the Grimlock, the G2 Grimlock, and then I had the Pretender Grimlock that had a revision update with the first classics Chug Grimlock that was modeled more after the Pretender one.
Well, I never knew the Dinobots that they made G2 Dinobots because I mean there was a handful of the repaints they did in G2, but I never knew the Dinobots were part of it.
All right, Magnus. You obviously don't have
Eat
a
a Snickers,
problem
Megatron.
financial wise picking up these new ones. Why don't you pick up any old ones? Why don't you collect the old ones?
Whose
do,
ability?
but it's I've got the ones that I wanted from my childhood. They're the ones that are in that turntable over there, the old Timex watch display. But the the biggest part of it is money. Yes, I'm more well off than most, but I don't want to spend it on something that old that I don't know the history on. Now, if it was in a box, sealed stuff, I got no problem with it. But I don't want to get a piece here, and the first time that I pick it up, it falls apart because somebody had it glued, like that third-party piece that I've got over there that is still on my table because they spilled a bottle of super glue on it.
Oh, damn.
And when I picked it up, it was supposedly sealed. And I got it home and I opened it and I took it back to the guy that I bought it from and I said, "This has been damaged." And he said, "Well, it was sealed in the package." I said, "That's not the original packaging." I said, "It's got stickers applied to it and the legs are glued together." And he would not let me return it, but he did let me get it for 75% off. And I don't, if I don't know the history on it, it's hard for me to get it. I have no problem buying something that's brand new because now the history starts with me.
Right.
Now, if I'm rebuilding a piece, and that's what I like to do with the older stuff. I like to buy the pieces and put them together.
I can attest to that. I mean, it made me pretty nervous the last two big purchases I've made because I bought Bumblebee on card and Hot Rod in the box. And pictures only go so far on Evil Bay. So yeah, you're right. You're not 100% knowing what you're gonna get. I get that. All right.
So anyway, this weekend, let me get into this.
I was about to say.
This weekend
That's
was
exactly what I was
OMG
going to
Con.
say.
This weekend was OMG Con, and it was our 20-year anniversary. So they had big things there. We had a lot of, because it was more anime stuff, which it wasn't animes that I watched, so I wasn't real interested in the guests. But we had like 14 or 15 guests this year instead of like the normal 8 to 10. So we had a lot of guests. We had a lot of new games. The audio video for every panel was top notch. No issues, no problems. It was the smoothest con we've ever ran. Now, I am not a staff member, but because I've been coming to this thing for 16 of the 20 years that it's been running, I know everybody who is. I know all the board members. They all know me by name. I pick up coffee for everybody because the hotel doesn't have, none of the restaurants at the hotels serve coffee.
Interesting.
Heresy.
Because they're not open for breakfast.
Okay, that makes sense.
And because the convention center serves their own food, we're not allowed to bring a food truck in. So nobody gets coffee in the morning. So I bring coffee to all the convention people. So yes, they know me. If they don't know me by my name, they know me as a coffee guy. So this year, for the 20 year, they did something new. And this year was our theme this year was supernatural. Everything supernatural, including the movies and the shows. So they came out with these tarot cards. And hang on, let me let me turn that off. There we go. So you can see that these are the little anime characters that the artist that does all of our stuff for OMG Con draws everything every year this way. So she did all the tarot cards of the original set, which is 0 through 21. And when you pre-rigged, you got 3 cards. And then you could do a hunt, a scavenger hunt for different locations throughout the convention.
Yes.
And you had to ask questions like you were a detective. You had to go and ask questions and go on a hunt. And at each place that was an actual find, they put a stamp on your card and you got to draw another one so that you could get a full set of the original 0 through 21. Well, what happens if you get a duplicate? And they didn't have an answer for that. So the head of the organization, Amanda Deek, she contacted me and she was like, you're a card person, you play Magic and everything. Would you be willing to handle the trading? People could come and seek you out and handle the trading. And I was like, sure, I'll do that, because we buy 7 badges with my family. So I started with 21 cards. So I almost had a full set right then, but I had some duplicates because, you know, they just randomly throw 3 in and then you get your badge. So I started out with some, so I was on a hunt to get mine. Once I got mine made, the first day, and this was actually the second day, she asked if I would handle trading for this thing. And I was like, sure. And I was wearing this shirt. Now this shirt it just has a bunch of planes on it. My sister sent it to me. It's what we actually wore in their wedding because they got married on a runway. So we all had these shirts with airplanes on them. And I looked at her and I said, well, just tell everybody. I said, let's keep it with the mystery. Tell everybody to look for the guy in the plain white shirt. And so, dude, the Discord was full. I mean, just absolutely full. Who's the guy in the white shirt? Who's the guy in the white shirt? And on Discord, people are thinking that, oh, they're just misspelling it. Because on Discord, they were writing out, you're looking for the guy in the plain, Plane, white shirt. And at every one of the stations, they're like, oh, if you've got a duplicate, there's a guy in a plain white shirt. You need to find him. So a couple of people found me, and it's great because when they walk up, they'd be like, is that? Those are planes on your shirt, right? And I'm like, yeah, what do you need? And like, we're looking for somebody in a plain white shirt. I said, well, you found somebody in a plain white shirt, and I pull out my pack. And they just start trading. So only like 2 people figured it out all day Saturday. Saturday evening, we're coming down. We're going to go home for a couple hours and get ready for the rave that night. So I was going to go home, change out of this shirt, take a shower, get ready to come back and party. And as we're getting in the elevator, we're coming down. There's like 3 furries in this elevator with us and 2 other con members and a couple other people in a wheelchair. I mean, it was packed. And then we stopped on the 2nd floor and 2 people from Con Ops step into the elevator. Doors close, and one of the guys in the back goes, hey man, you're from Con Ops. He said, you got any clues that you can give us about the guy in the plain white shirt? Like that. And I just turned my head like a turret and looked at him like that, because the Con Ops guys know who it is. Like that. And Amanda just starts tapping me on the chest like that. And I said, a plain white shirt, huh? Like that. And he was like, yeah, man, we've been looking at... Well, it got out from there.
Oh boy.
He's not in just a white t-shirt. Hits a guy in a white shirt with planes on it. So today, people were hunting my ass down. I mean, hunting me down. It was great, and it's still some people were not sure. We're not sure. We're standing there in line. They're calling off the raffles like that. We're standing there like that, and somebody's looking at me. And she's like, "Are you the one we do trades with?" I'm like, yeah, we can do some trades. And I pull out my pack and we're sitting there, we're trading. Well, two other people walk up and they just think I'm being nice and we're just trading. And then a couple other people that I've already traded with today come walking up and they're like, hey, man, we finished our pack. Here's some extras that you can trade with people. And so they're handing me some extras like that. And this one girl's like, I don't have any duplicates. And I was like, well, what do you need? And she's like, I don't have anything to give. I said, that's okay. I said, what do you need? I said, I'll give you whatever I got to help you get your full deck. Okay, if I've got it, you don't have it, you can have it. Okay, so we go through, and this other girl's standing there, and she's like, you are so nice. You are so nice. Here's my extras. Here's my extras. I already filled mine up. And so then another guy comes walking by, and he goes, what? Is that a play? No. Yeah. No. Yeah. You're who we're looking for, isn't it? And I said, plain white shirt. And the girl that just gave me all of her stuff, she goes, oh, I thought you were just being nice. And then when she said that, like everybody that was there for the raffle turned towards me, and it was a collective gasp as it clicked for like 30 freaking people standing here. Everybody went,
That's great.
It was the most fun I've had at a convention in a long time. It was because I had a job to do. But yeah, it was great. Played in the Magic tournament yesterday, and it was a draft. Absolutely dominated it. Just a great weekend all the way around. I won a few things in the raffles, and I can show those off.
Cool.
The new Magic set. Oh gosh, I've misplaced that card somewhere. Oh, I think I put it over there on the table. The new Magic set is Final Fantasy. It's a Final Fantasy crossover, and it's one of the.
Those. I've seen a lot of pictures of them.
Oh, it's one of the most expensive sets that they've ever put out because it's super rare, and there are serialized cards that are 0 through 77 only, and they're actually in a gold foil. And they're selling for over $30,000 a piece.
Oh no!
Imagine if Impactor was on now. He would be having not just a stroke, but a heart attack, and a seizure,
Right.
and every other type of sudden paralyzing element attack illness you could have.
So in the raffles, of course, I did anything that was Magic related, and on Friday I won the Secret Lair Marvel Deadpool set.
Oh.
Still sealed. I will probably sell this because I also already have it. I won the Magic tournament, which when you win a percentage of the packs that are left over from the draft. And so I got 4 more packs, and I just threw them in my bag, and we were getting out there because the tournament took like 4.5 hours. It was crazy. There were so many new people because it was Final Fantasy. They were just there because it's Final Fantasy and taking a chance on pulling one of those extremely expensive cards, not realizing that those extremely expensive cards are not in booster packs. They're in collector packs.
Well, at the very least, maybe they got a version of those cards with a character they're really partial to.
And you could do that. So they reprinted a couple of cards that are high in value anyway, but then they made them part of Final Fantasy. Now, I personally have never played a single Final Fantasy game. I know the Final Fantasy characters from going to conventions and watching all these people cosplay as them. And I'm like, oh, that's a neat looking person. And they're like, yeah, that's from Final Fantasy IV. That's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a Final Fantasy person. So that's how I know people that are on these cards. So Saturday when I get home, I open up my winning packs and I sit down at the table and I pulled the first pack out, and Amanda's cat come over and she starts rubbing up against the back of the pack in my hands. And I'm like, oh, you putting some blessings on this pack? And I opened it up. And I went to this and I went, oh my God. And I scared the cat and ran away. And I'm like, no, come back and bless the rest of them, please, please. So in the booster packs, this is the most expensive card that you can get.
Nice.
And I pulled it in the first winning pack that I got. This is Dragon of Mount Gulag. And what's really cool is that they put on the bottom what Final Fantasy they're from, and this is from Final Fantasy 1.
Yep.
But this is the Dragon of Mount Gulg, Gulg, and it's got
Yeah,
a
that was where
picture
you fight the
from the
fire
game.
fiend.
But this is actually the ancient copper dragon, which is like a $65 card in the game, and this one is around 80. So that was in my winnings, and then I won another Gundam in the raffle.
Okay, done. Oh, the real grade.
I don't know.
No, on the front, the RG.
It's RG, yeah, RG 144.
So what a real grade is, it's sort of supposed to be like, it's in scale with 144s, the HG, which is the grade of Gundam model kits that have the most Gundams from all the different Gundam series, but then it has the higher quality, more detailed engineering that you might see in Masterpiece, which is, I think, 100, and Perfect Grade, which is like 160 side or something like that. So it's like a happy medium of not this big ass thing you got to put together. It's and in the same scale as all the kits that the kit scale that has the most, complete collection of all the Gundams and Zaku's and whatnot. So that's a good kit, like a happy medium. You get to try something that's more complicated, and then you'll still be able to have it fit in if you pick up the Gunpla bug like I have again. You can get a lot of kits that would scale with it.
Because
There's
there was another
also
auction.
if
I'm
you
also anything D&D, and I won this, which this is as high as I can raise it because of my left arm. So I can raise it higher with my right arm. So this is just a brick of cardboard basically, but it's terrain for D&D games. It's a map maker kit. And when I won that, my Battletech terrains and stuff is made out of plastic. It's lightweight. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just gonna be like trees and shrubs and shit. No. So when I won, the girl said, she called off my number, and I was like, oh, that's me. And I held my hands out like this, and she goes, whoa, and like to flip me over the damn table, because that thing weighs like 7-8 pounds, and I was expecting it to weigh less than a pound. It's just like, boom. And I was like,
Oh yeah, on your shoulder. Ouch.
yes. Yeah. I was like, Amanda, you have to pick this up. You have to pick this up now, because I am pinned to the table. I can't move.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is
But no,
Amanda
it was a
your
great con.
daughter or your
Amanda's my fiance.
fiance? I couldn't think of the word. I wasn't trying. I was like, I know wife wasn't the right word yet.
Not yet.
Not
Soon.
No, my daughter was there. She was cosplaying as her Grimlock. She walked around Grimlock Saturday. She walked around Grimlock Friday. She was the Dark Sonic Shadow the Hedgehog Saturday. And then today she had her Grimlock back on today.
Nice.
My son was Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And he was in his Saber Guild, his lightsaber guild as the Dark Lord. So he had all of his black leather armor and everything on. But yeah, it was a great con. We had a good time. Amanda went Friday to Nashville with my cousin to get her ring fused to her wedding band and get it, because we don't have a jeweler here that will do it without us having bought the ring from them. And the place that we bought the ring from doesn't do that. And so my cousin used to be a jeweler. She's retired. And I called her and I was like, can you fuse two rings together? She's like, I can, but I don't have the equipment. So I sold all that when I retired.
Right.
I was like, do you know any place that we can go to get this done? Because the place that we bought the ring from doesn't do it, and nobody else will do it without buying the ring from them. And she's like, oh yeah, I've got connections. So you all just meet me in Nashville someday. So they had set it up for this weekend, for Friday, because Amanda was off. So she goes down there, and then my cousin ends up paying for getting the ring done, which was only like $50. But then her older sister meets him and was like, hey, let's go to my friend's restaurant's grand opening. And so they went and got like a $400 lunch and everything for free. Like, and Amanda was like, I just got pampered all day long. I just got I had the most wonderful hamburger made out of sirloin that I've ever eaten in my life, and truffle fries. And she's like, it was like a $300 lunch, and everybody that we went to was like, oh no, y'all don't have to pay. You're good, you're good. And I said, baby, you didn't know you'd marrying into the mafia. When I tell you that I know somebody about every situation, it's not a lie. It's not a boast. We've got a connection somewhere.
Nice.
We can get it there. But yeah, it's been a great weekend from Friday on. But man,
Sounds
today, it was just, I was gassed at the, I personally ended up with 3 full sets of the tarot cards.
Oh,
And I did not buy, they had them for sale. They were $50 for a set. I ended up with 3 full sets, gave one to my son, one to my daughter, and I have one. At the end of the night, I'm not going to say who in case anybody's listening. At the end of the night, my son came up to me and he was like, do you still have cards to trade? And I said, yes, I do. And I had like maybe 15 or 20 of them, but I had a lot of repeats. I said, yeah, I do. And he's like, I only need 2. And so he pulls his out, and we're fanning through them. And I'm like, well, I don't have those 2. Hang on, because the girl over there that's doing the pre-rig for next year, she's got them out, and she's selling them for $1 a piece. And so I walked over there, and I was like, I need a 6 and a 14. Like, and she said, who's this for? And I said, it's my son. He just needs 2 more, and he'll have the complete set. And she just reached in and grabbed a brand new one and hands it to me. And she said, and then take your son's and go fill somebody else's up. Mm-hmm. Like that. And so I took that one. I was like, give me yours. And so I took his out, combined my 12, because we're at the last event of the night, of the whole con, which is closing ceremonies. We got like 15 minutes before they open the door. And so the line is already going all the way back around. And so I just started walking down through there, and I'm like, anybody still looking for tarot cards? Still looking for tarot cards? I've got like 40 of them in my hand here. Anybody still looking? By the time I came back, I had 6. We filled everybody up. And people were coming, I don't have anything to trade. I don't care. I don't care. I said, this is the end. This is the end of it. Let's get you to a full deck. Let's get you to a full deck.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a great convention, great times. It's hot. Oh my God, it's hot. Today it was 103 at noon, and yesterday it was like 94 at noon. And of course they're out. We got people. These are pasty ass kids that live in their basements. You can't be having shit outside. Are you crazy? And they having shit outside. And these kids are going out there and having heat strokes. They had the bopper where they fight with the foam swords out on the main lawn, and these kids are out there dropping like flies.
Wow.
It's like, hydrate. Go to the blue truck. The blue truck has ice water in the back of it. The blue truck is my truck.
Trying to say my dad's truck is blue. My kid brother's gonna wants to have my dad's truck to go to Virginia Tech with. And my dad's like, nope, that's my baby. You can have the little dinky Cobalt or something like that. I'm keeping the truck for when I go up to the mountains to go camping. You'll be living up there in walking distance if you're in Virginia Tech, so you don't need the truck to get up there. You'd be in the mountains already.
Mario says, nice set of cards you have, Mr. Magnus, and then also said, what an interesting story. The Impactor says, I need a medic. I need. Impactor has been sent to a hospital for having heart attacks and seizures.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Shiva Kobe says, back from Costco run plus Chinese food run. And Mario says, wow, Mr. Magnus, I didn't think you were the kind of person who collects or likes or interested in Gundam or Mecha.
What? What? We're not too far off with Transformers.
hmm
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You like Robotech / Macross and Evangelion, correct?
Oh yes.
Which
And BattleTech is nothing but mecha on a game
yeah, I
table or
know. Wanted to
tabletop.
like I want to sometime hit up you and Fear and Courage because I know he used to do the Gunpla, and then I know you're Macross, Robotech, and BattleTech, and Evangelion. Because I wanted like, and then I'm gonna try to interview Tanuki and Runa because I know they're both Ava hardheads. Like really, I mean they cosplay for it and like dance to the song during all their streams and whatnot. Kind of like where we have Transformers music's playing every stream. So and kind of do a stream where maybe we go over like how what led up to Transformers, which will be like the giant living robot genre at war, and then you have like Evangelion after Transformers, where the giant robots are enslaved to fight someone else's war, and what comes before and after, and then talk about where, let's say, like the combiners and transform, like G1 comes from like super robots from like the Monster of the Week type shows and power, like the stuff that originally led up to Power Rangers in the '90s that started like in the '60s and whatnot.
Don't you tie in Power Rangers with Transformers?
Hey, you like Devastator. If it wasn't for like those super robot shows, you wouldn't have your precious Devastator ever been created, possibly.
I always say Power Rangers are like a knockoff of Voltron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was they purchased what the original Japanese footage. So most of the time, when they're in their masks and costumes, that's the original Japanese show.
hmm
And every scene where it's a random group of awkwardly matched by racial features and skin color associations to their color, their costume. Like the Red Ranger is Native American, the African American Ranger is black, and so forth. The White Ranger is just awkward when you go white power, like oh, that's unfortunate.
They're like, don't say it. What Impactor says, I think Magnus's truck is safer than Box truck.
Well,
Well,
one thing everyone needs to know, everyone around here does know, is that Mr. Magnus, whether I'm at work, I'm at play, I'm out on the town, or I'm just driving along, Magnus is always a safe spot, safe place, anytime.
There you go.
But Mario, I know you're one of our newer followers watching and everything. If you go back and look at some of our past views, I was a person of interest on here one time where we actually did a walk around through this room. You'll see the system that I'm on here. This is a 3-monitor computer system that I have here. I've got Big Bad Toy Stores over here, Facebook on over here, and I've got Children of Primus going on here. But this system is called my battle station because my true love is a game called BattleTech. And this computer system was built for me to play that game online.
Nice.
My best friend, he is a IT specialist, and he's the one that put this all together for me and got it running. But yeah, if it's a big stumpy robot, you better believe I'm all over that.
Bill, wasn't there you might know what I'm talking about. I remember there was I want to say on one maybe the second Xbox, and there's some mecha game, and they had like this whole like almost like the internal controls for a mecha for the quote unquote gamepad. And I mean it was like big, like it was like those old like but it was for whatever the second Xbox. I don't think it was an Armor Core game, but it was a game that's similar to Armor Core series though, and it was on like the
uh,
second or third Xbox system.
I'm not an Xbox person. I've never owned an Xbox, so I couldn't tell you unless it was crossed over. Now, there was Mech Commander on
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, and there was actually a BattleTech game
Mm-hmm.
that was called BattleTech. And then there was for the PC game, which was one of my favorite ones, and it was called Mecha Commander, and it was done by BattleTech, and it was the overview. You actually commanded the entire lance, and you clicked, and you're sending this lance here, or you could take a few mechs out of it by highlighting them and make them go around, and you could control everything from the aerial view. You were just the commander. You had pilots that you were giving orders to. And that game was warped because once you got big enough, once you got to where you could put like a whole company of mechs out, you could put all 12 mechs out, you just strip them down and load them down with LRMs. You take the lightest, fastest moving things, and you put an LRM-10 on them and 2 tons of ammo. And as soon as anything got into range, you did the phrase from 300, you blotted out the sun. And whatever you clicked on died in a fiery red mist. Because here comes 400 missiles. And it would, whenever you did it, because of the technology back in those days, it would go.
Yeah, the lag and the low frames per second.
Yeah, and you could just sit there and watch it in slow motion as, okay, that whole area just died. And then you give it a little bit to rebuffer, and then you go click and do it again.
Well, speaking of cons, we got to have enough time for Spin to talk about the TFCON.
Yes,
TFCON, coming up.
So TFCON Toronto, and as funny as you mentioned that, Mr. O in the comments saying back from Cali and hockey training, miss you guys. I know he's in Cali for work training. So Mr. Oladi and myself will be and Fear of Courage will be manning once again at TFCON Toronto, which will be July 11th and July 12th. In Mississauga, Ontario, right next door to Toronto, and we will be live streaming on the Saturday and Sunday. And whatever guests that come by, which we have a couple that we have in mind, but whichever guests come by who wants to show off their figures and just hang out with us for a bit, we will be streaming during the live stream. And as Mr. O says, can't wait for TFCon. So that's we're getting stuff ready. We're going to have a contest. We're actually going to have 2 contests where it will be connected with the TFCon. So we're working on it in the background. We're going to announce that soon. We're also going to have merchandise that we're going to be selling at TFCon and then on the website afterwards. And so that's some of the stuff that we have coming up. And as Mr. O said, come talk to us. So, we've met a lot of interesting people over the years at TFCon, including Colin, who is the head of TFCon, where I remember the initial year he came over just like, what are you guys doing? And came down, sat with us, and told us the entire history of TFCon, how it started. At the time, I think it was about 18 years ago, and everything that led up to what it is now. So we always have respect for him in that regard. I know we met the Grimlock lady. We also met the lady who I believe she had over 300 star screams, along with like many other cool people that we've met along the way. Other updates, Big Angry Trev, who has the second largest collection of Transformers in Australia. He's going to be with us on July 6th. And another detail, as we always make fun of CBR, recently I've gone on their site and I think they owe us $2,000 because I think they must have been listening to us, and they've actually hired someone who actually writes somewhat intelligent articles for their website. So there's nothing for us to tear apart on their websites anymore, unfortunately.
You're welcome, CBR.
We need the Picard facepalm right about now.
Well, let's see.
We'll let you know if we love you now.
But I mean, speaking of articles, and I know Fair wasn't with us this evening because I know his brother is actually getting married on this Saturday of during TFCON, so he's been involved in a lot of the wedding stuff. But we always say, check out our website, childrenofprimus.com, with Fear of Courage and Toy War Vintage reviews, are human written articles where they get into details about their articles, about the items, Transformers related, and they're not AI generated, which goes down a whole other road of discussion that I think one stream will talk about that in the future when it comes to AI. So we still respect us being on the stream, us being humans, and putting aside our time to just hang out with everyone. So, well, what say you guys in terms of other news and updates?
Spin, do you have any note my shirt since you used to be a DJ and you and Professor D? I don't know if you saw my question. If any of your reels on Instagram or Facebook or here on YouTube have music you remixed or you and Professor D had done. Maybe we could make a highlights of them on your Instagram and the Instagram where I talk to a lot of musicians and dancers.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, I'll give you one slight correction because when you said I used to be a DJ.
Well, yeah, I know you're still a DJ. Well,
Yeah,
it used to be more of a main your bread and butter. It used to be more your bread and butter.
there you
Is
go.
what it meant.
Because spin is actually short for DJ Spinister. So it's years ago I'd always say like if Superman or Spider-Man or certain mutants, if they decided to stop saving the world and everything, that doesn't mean they're not they're no longer mutants. They still are who they are. So I'm still a DJ even if I'm not always doing it, but that would be very cool to connect with you on that. And as a quick rundown, Professor D and I, and Mr. O, we all went to the same high school at the time. We were into hip hop. Professor D was an MC, rapper. I was a DJ, and we started working together. And we had our own hip hop group. Put out some music, toured many countries and cities and stuff, and then later on it was just kind of went separate ways as sometimes happens with groups, but we reconnected and especially in terms of Transformers. So I know he comes in every now and then because he also has quite an extensive collection that we used to kind of compete with back when we used to work together.
Professor D's like really into third party compared to a lot of the rest of us, right? Maybe Mr. Magnus has maybe just as many third parties as him. I'm not sure about a lot of what he's into. Besides,
Well, I think
stuff.
I think D has way more than I do. I've just got the one cabinet.
Yeah, D has a lot more of a like he really focused on the third party.
The only third party I've gotten into is like the W cassettes. So that Doctor Wu, Doctor Wu cassettes for like the WFC and
Mm-hmm.
legacy style blaster and sound waves. That size class of cassettes.
Speaking of Professor D, is he still alive? I'm kind of worried about him. I heard nothing about him or from him for quite a while. So D, if you're watching, let us know if you're still alive.
He's alive, But I think maybe Professor D is sometimes, that one person where it's like you don't find them, they'll find you. So he's around, but yeah, do check in with us and swing by TFCon if you get a chance to, and hang out with us. And Mr. O says, "Hey, we're at 498 subs. Can we get 500 before the show ends? Let's go!"
Yeah,
So
come on.
come on, we want to hit that 500, and I'm kind of lost on words for a moment, but we still have 15 minutes before we end the stream. Should we do a Gators versus Cats segment?
Oh God. I could do one of those 2 minute segments. I'll try to do what I was like. I wanted, the history of like giant robot series like type of subgenres. Maybe I could try that or the cats and alligators or both.
Well, I think the cats versus alligators will be a battle because I mean, at some point we all gotta have some sort of battles because I know it will get quite funny if once we get into it.
Yeah, we'll have to all figure out animals to associate with. So,
Well, meanwhile, over on Toy War Vintage Reviews, go subscribe to that as well. I'm going to be putting out this week the second part of the real history of the Transformers. What happened was I had found on the interwebs back in like 2000 a history that somebody had put together that was absolutely brilliant on, filling in a lot of G1 gaps and whatnot, and tying in comic stories and cartoon and everything. So I'll be putting out part 2 of that video over on Toy War. Over on the Cruisers Motorsports channel, I'm going to be doing some giveaways with some shirts and some extra race memorabilia to be helping out. I'm going to be giving it out to people who get other people to sub to all 3 channels, being Cruisers, Toy Warp, and Children of Primus.
Oh, very cool. That is very cool. Mr. O says, guys, get the wives to sub.
I need a wife first. Well, a wife that's not 6 feet under. But
yeah, what is it with that? Anthony's brother is getting murdered. Magnus is going to go get married. What is it with everyone? It is. I'm just confused on why everyone's getting murdered. Married.
Oh God.
Well, it's funny how
that was a definite, a very intentional Freudian slip that you tried to cast off as a Freudian slip.
Well, I know as Sedum shares a lot of stuff in our chat. The one thing he shared, which the Gator comedy clip from Dry Bar comedy, and that's actually a cool channel. A lot of comedians on there. There's this one comedian, I don't recall his name, but he's just it's like the straight deadpan sarcastic humor, how he delivers it, but his punchlines are just so funny. And one of the jokes is like, when wives or when women are getting married, it's all sorts of excitement of like, who's, what dress and the ring and everything's exciting. But for the guys, it sounds like, it sounds like destruction. Where it's just like, oh, did you hear what happened to Mr. Magnus? It's like, oh, did he, when did he find out? No.
The myself and my groomsmen are going to enter the chapel area to Instruments of Destruction from the original movie.
I pointed out Instruments of Destruction to Blue Rose, a Japanese dancer singer I'm friends with. She likes most of the shares and sharing tags I do. She liked that song. She said that was a cool song.
The Children of Primus does not endorse the murdering of wives. So take that clip and be like, yeah, that's out of context.
Can we endorse wives murdering husbands of, especially a certain wife of a certain individual that lives in Florida that's not Tour Warp?
I'm still kind of, what's cool? I know eventually it's like we should, be doing little funny clips like that. But that one clip where someone took whatever that comedian was talking about, like robbing a place with a gator, but then adding a cartoon to it. Like that just even made it funnier. And like, drive up to the drive-through window, try to rob the place, and
the visual hyperbole of it.
You're at a drive-through. Like, at least come inside and try to rob us. But no, I'm gonna throw a gator at you.
Yeah, the girl's like, dude, what the?
Torv's like, no, that's the other side of Florida.
That's Midland, Florida. Yeah. I'm out by the coast, and when you live by the coast and you got the breeze and everything off the Gulf and off the Atlantic, but middle Florida, I'm telling you, is like living in a jungle where everything does want to kill you. It is crazy.
Wow.
Inland Florida, and the people go crazy. Inland Florida, man. I'm telling you what, they are on a whole nother level of Florida man survival. It is insanity in Middle Florida. I would never want to live in Middle Florida.
Oh yeah, Toy War. Since you're originally from Ohio, correct?
Yeah,
Or you lived there
let's
for a
not make that
time.
too public.
Shush.
We bring it up all the damn time. So, but you know how I always give you crap about Florida being an American Jurassic Park, and then Ohio, and then you give me crap about Ohio. And you know how certain birds are supposed to be descended from certain dinosaurs. So I've had the same bird break into my house twice. You know how like you got the little thing with the vents to go that keep the attic from getting so the attic has
Yeah.
some airflow, and the bird gets in there, and there's a door, two doors. The door that's where and I sit at the top of my stairs most streams, and a other attic door in my closet, and it'll just rant because there's not a latch for the door. Those two doors, it'll just fly that against the door as hard as possible. Open the door, and I'll hear it flying around. And there's even times when I literally 2 times now I wake up and the bird's looking at me like, "Give me food, motherfucker." Just to hold the stick up. And I hear Shenta like, "Dad, Dad." He's like, "Meow, meow." And he's like pointing to the bird breaking into my house, like trying to steal my stuff. I swear one day he had a transformer and he was trying to fly off with it.
We're gonna change your name to Dr. Doolittle. What?
That, ladies and gentlemen, was a segment
There
of
might have been
Where
some
Does Optimus
exaggeration
Put His
there, but
Trailer?
that bird has broken into my house twice now on the top floor, and I'm just like, where the hell do you get in from?
Hey guys, we just hit 500 subscribers.
Hey!
Nice.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely have to congratulate
They
everyone.
had to send a text.
Put out a cool short just saying thank you to all 500 subscribers.
Outstanding.
Prime Killer hiding in the comments says congrats y'all and thank you. Thank you. So we've hit 500. Now can we what's our contest to aim for 1,000?
Warwarp
I don't
has
know,
to
what is
dress
it?
up as an alligator and furry on stream, and I got to dress up as a cat furry on stream.
I'm down.
Okay.
You're not supposed to agree with me.
Oh, I'm down. I'll be a gator that fights a big pussy. No problem.
Well, can a fox count since people say foxes are kind of like cat dogs? And I already have a fox hat that I had on that one time that Mr. Magnus got a kick out of, so I don't have to buy other, full cat sink.
You just say a fox is like a cat dog?
Yeah, you never heard that before?
No.
No.
I mean, other than what the fox says in Swiper No Swiping, I've never heard of a fox being described as a cat dog.
Well, like foxes act less canine-like than, let's say, wolves, and some of their behaviors, somewhat cat-like compared to, wolves and other still wild canines. But I mean, they definitely. I mean, they're canine as a species, but they do exhibit kind of like how hyenas are technically, in Panthera or feline family, but a lot of people think of them as being dog-like. Sort of the same thing as that. It's similar to that.
That makes sense. Mr. Prime Killer says, yeah, I think Skywarp has to dress like a gator and dance to anime music.
We hit 1,000 subscribers. I'll do it.
Careful. I'm gonna clip that part.
Oh well.
Sorry,
Do it.
I got a lot going on both these screens. What are we doing? If we hit 1,000?
Apparently, I'm going to be dressing up as an alligator and dancing to what do you say?
Anime music.
Oh, the Animaniacs music.
Oh, Animaniacs music. Okay.
And I won't be
I thought
doing
that's
anything
what
similar.
Okay. I'll match that. We'll set it up to where we'll set it up to where we can do a duel, and I'll break out the Optimus Prime cosplay, and we'll dance together
damn it.
At 1,000 subs, for some reason, there's dancing involved. Don't
Why
ask
do
me.
I
That's just
not
crazy.
Alrighty.
before I
You know,
speak?
okay, I'm telling you now.
God
Subscribe
damn
because you know
it.
it gets crazy around here, right? And just letting you know. God.
You know what? How about we put a deadline to that and make it from now up until like around Halloween. If we can pull off 1,000 subscribers around Halloween, Tor's
big
gonna
deal
dress
now.
up as a gator.
We're
Meg
at
looks like
502
octopus.
subscribers now.
Oh wow! I'll match that too. I'll break out the Shrek costume. There's there's a lot going on here. This and you know what? We're gonna carry this into TFCON. And Mr. O
Yeah,
said,
that would make sense why you said by Halloween.
I know Prime Killer has an unhealthy obsession with Shrek, so now I'm just wondering why a grown man has a Shrek costume.
"Hey Shrek!"
He's
Cosplay.
like Captain Kirk. He likes those green skin girls.
Did you see that one in the movie? Yeah, I'd be down for that too. I'm gonna eat my broccoli for the night.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Mr. O says hookers and cocaine for 1,000 subs giveaway.
I'm down for that too. I'm
Okay.
from Florida. I can bring the cocaine. Wait, what?
Careful. Well, Children of
We will
Primus is
not
on the
use real
Canadian
cocaine.
side
We
of
will
the
use
border. We
powdered
do not
sugar
endorse.
and pretend it's cocaine for your amusement as we roleplay the 80s Scarface movie, and see you can do it, impersonate him doing cocaine bets.
Oh dear, the
God
comments.
damn it! I opened up with other dumb idea, didn't I?
There you go. The comments are just going all sorts of left. I don't know if I can put that one up on the screen, Prime Killer. Just talking about activities and watching Shrek any night.
I don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even putting my glasses on to see that one. Nope.
No, that's one of those. Impactor says, yeah, 500 smackers. Congrats, guys, and congrats to Impactor because along with the impressive videos and stop animation that he's been doing, his channel has also been has really been catching up. So so congrats goes out to you as well. And he also said congrats earlier, and Mr. O said, and that's why we have Toy Warp.
Oh, from the cocaine, right? Yeah, I can accept that.
That and all the trash posts I put in the group chat recently. Like, this is tour warp. This is tour warp. This is what tour warp thinks I do in my real life. This is what I really do.
There you go.
Stupid posts we've been doing.
And Prime
Why the cat and
Yeah, but I didn't see a huge difference in between what I said and what actually goes on. So, you know.
And Prime Killer says, Impactor, we're talking about the
It's Florida.
Coca-Cola drink. Mmm.
Yes.
So I'll give you a bridge tour warp if you really want to get on my nerves. So you know how I always call Ohio American Narnia? So my are you familiar with the Chronicles of Narnia and Mr.
No.
Thomas? Guess what my
No.
middle name and what my nickname was in elementary in the 5th grade after reading The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe because of Mr. Thomas. My legal middle name is Thomas. So if you really want to get on my nerves, you call me Mr. Thomas.
Not the train.
No, like the Chronicles of Narnia character, the Satyr dude, the goat-legged dude.
I'm gonna go to the closest AI thing and make a Thomas the Train Chronicles of Narnia, whatever the hell that is, and send it to you. Right? Okay.
Oh God.
Duly noted.
Which is weirdly related, I believe. I don't have all the exact details because when you just briefly read something. But the lady who was responsible for bringing life to Thomas the Train, in terms of the show and everything back in the day, has passed away. I do not know her name, but it's she was kind of the person who took the books that were written, but then created into the live action series that like everyone knows of when they think of Thomas the Train. So she did pass away just I think just yesterday, either today or yesterday. So our condolences out to to her family, just since we're talking about the word Thomas that came up.
Somebody said that Thomas the Train went clear back to when we were kids. I never saw it. I don't remember the toys. I don't remember nothing.
My kid brother that turned 18 in May, he was into it when he was young.
It
And
goes way
then
back,
I
but
have
I think
alluded
it
to it
was.
before. This little Japanese girl that I'm friends with, her parents and her named Yuzu, which is a type of Japanese citrus fruit. That girl loves some Mr. Thomas the Train Engine. And I told her when I saw that for the first time, I let her know how in Richmond, Virginia, there's one of the only one or two triple train crossings in North America, and it's also one of the few in the world where it's like train, train, train. So she's like, "Ooh, well, yeah,
Train,
well,
train, train,
visit
like what your
you."
mom does? Wait, what?
So,
Speechless.
no, I'm not here.
Well, so yes, because as Mr. O was going to, the
Yeah,
thought
I
was
agree.
too. It's more of a British and Canadian cartoon, and I think even more British before it came over in Canada. So, I mean, it's almost funny enough, even in terms of like Transformers, Voltron, and certain other things. When we think about back in the G1 days, some people are like, well, we're not familiar with that, or say G2, for instance, whereas like Canada and the US wise, G2 was kind of a whole other breed. Or so sorry, what would I say? G2 was kind of like Hasbro's way of just reselling G1, whereas over in the European market, G2 was an actual storyline and everything that happened. So, so we didn't see that on our end. So same like Thomas the Train, where it's like different regions of the world. That was huge, and then slowly came over to our end. Whatever is going on in the background, Mr. O is just saying, God damn.
That comment section is moving.
The comment section is moving. Prime Killer says, y'all gonna be on after the stream. I can boot up the computer only for a short bit, because I do have work in the morning, and us having the heat wave, because we are now hitting that heat wave where on the state side it's like in the plus 100s, on the Canadian side it's plus 40s. So it's be careful, get hydrated, don't
Do
worry.
Canadians even know what air conditioners are?
Shush, we do know what air conditioners are.
Gotta ask.
Well, we only run them for maybe 2 weeks of the year.
Why I asked?
We have ACs and we have furnaces. Well, we have more furnaces than ACs.
Yeah, I living in Ohio. I remember. Yep.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna get going here since I need to get Shinta inside. It's actually, nighttime plus black cat's not the best combination.
Hector says we have snow for AC.
I see it.
All right, take care, Sedum. And as we're gonna round out the evening, so amazing that we've hit 500 subscribers. So congratulations to us. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed this evening and subscribed to us for the last few years. We always thank you guys, and always thank you for hanging out in the comments as well, and I always thank you guys for taking your Sunday nights and hanging out with us. And I just remembered the first time Toy Warp wanting to hang out with us, because that just moment just like tore up your collection.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, that was funny. Where it's just like, show us your pictures, and she just tore up the collection. And I remember Mr. Magnus, just before having a cell signal, and just just however he could get on, and just like it was just funny.
I had to sit out on the back porch in one location, and like I couldn't move my phone this much, or my signal would be gone.
And here you are now with the battle station.
That's right. That's right. With faster internet speed than anybody that I know.
Nice.
Yeah, we're all fiber, baby. Fiber.
Ooh, yes, fiber is the way to go. Torp's looking at us and I'm still on dial-up.
Yeah, right. I still have robots screaming at me when I get online. Yeah. Tortured robots.
So Mr. O says it will be 35, but feel like 47. That's insane. That's probably like 110, 120. That's
Crap. Down in Florida, I think I only had like 95 degrees today.
wow.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, so you had it the coolest, where many would think that you'd be hotter than us.
Yeah, we only had like 95.
And Impactor says, hope to see you guys next week. I'm very grateful for you guys having me on the streams. Thank you for handling my crazy stuff during the streams till all are one. Always, we we enjoy everyone on the streams. So until next week, and so again, a quick update.
Wait.
Oh,
Tomorrow's going to be crispy. You could swim through the air. We are going to be at 94 degrees with 104% humidity.
104% humidity. That's not humid.
That's rain. That's rain. They call that rain.
That's like when those news
Welcome to the
channels,
Ohio Valley.
when those news channels have bloopers when they're doing the weather reports, and it would be like 6,000 Fahrenheit. I'm like, everyone in that region is dead. Cool. So until next week, with Trevor, Big Angry Trev on July 6th coming in. We have TFCON July 11th and 12th, and contests coming up. And so until next week, until all are one.
All are one.
We now return you to the Children of Primus.